Hello kids. Today we will be reading a story. The story name is Goodnight Owl. And the author of story is Greg Pizzoli. Have any of you guys heard this story before? It's okay. Let's start the story. There was an owl settling into bed when he heard a noise. It was a tiny sound, no louder than a whisper, a funny noise he had not heard before. Someone must be at the door, said Owl, and he thought, just a minute. Owl got up and checked the door. No one was there. Then the owl thought, it's probably the wind. And he lay down in bed and said to himself, "Good night, owl." Shriek. He heard the noise again. After hearing the noise again, the owl said, "It's probably coming from the cupboard." He was really annoyed for this moment. "It's coming from the cupboard," said Owl. As he started to find out where is the noise coming from, he emptied every shelf, but there was no noise to be found. So Owl went back to bed. "Good night, Owl," he said to himself. And guess what happened again? It was the same noise. Squeak. The owl started wondering, it must be under the floor. And he pulled up the floorboards one by one. But again, he did not find the noise. So Owl went back to bed. The owl heard the noise again. Squeak. This time the owl yelled, "This house has a noisy roof." And he took down the roof. After taking down the roof, the owl thought he found the noise. Where is the noise coming from? And said, "There, no more noise." Owl got back to the bed, the stars and the moon shining down where his roof used to be. And then he said to himself, "Good night, Owl." He was still worried, so he did not close his eyes, did not dare. He knew that any second he would hear a noise. He waited and waited and waited. Then come the noise again. Squeak. It's in the walls. Owl screeched. The owl got really mad this time. I'll get you, noise. And he tore down the walls of his house. But he found nothing. The cupboard was empty. The floorboards were pulled up. The roof was pulled down. And the walls were gone. Owl went back to bed. And he said, "Good night, owl." And then he saw the noise. It was a rat. Owl smiled. He said, "Good night, noise." And then they went to sleep together on the same bed. That's the end of story. Good night, owl. So, what do you guys think? What kind of noise did the owl hear? Yes, a funny noise. What was the name of the story? Yes, Good Night, Owl. Next question is, what did the owl do when he heard the noise coming from the cupboard? He emptied every shelf. Yes. Why did the owl smile at the end of story? Yes, because he finally found the noise. It was a rat. Okay. Okay. Now the summary of story is, owl was getting ready for bed when he heard a noise. It seemed to be coming from outside, so he went to the door but found no one there. Then he felt it might be coming from the cupboard, roof, walls. He checked everywhere, but he did not find anything until he saw a noise. It was a rat who was making a noise. After this, Owl smiled and said to himself, "Good night, Owl." Then they both went to sleep without the roof and the walls. That's the end for today. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day you all. Thank you.